Wait, grab that ladder. Come on.
Let's go.
Hey!
From season 4 just ended, and it left fans completely shaken. We got Fatima's transformation, a silent but loaded stare between the boy in white and the man in yellow, major character deaths, and almost every protective talisman in town being quietly removed. It's also been confirmed that season 5 will be the final season ever, which means everything we just watched was not random. It was set up. Every piece that was placed on the board in this finale exists for a reason, and most of it points toward one massive, town-ending event. So today, I want to walk you through my full breakdown of what's coming, what clues we may have missed, and how this story could possibly end. To understand where From is heading, we have to go back to one of the most chilling pieces of information the show has ever given us, the town massacre. This isn't a new idea introduced out of nowhere. We've actually known about it since we saw Victor, as a child, standing in the aftermath of one of these massacres during an earlier cycle. He was just a kid, hidden away by his mother, Miranda, and when morning came, he saw nothing but death surrounding him. That image has stayed with the show ever since, quietly waiting in the background, and now it feels like the final season is finally circling back to it. What makes this so unsettling is how deliberately the show has been building the conditions for it to happen again. In the season 4 finale, Sophia was shown going door to door, property to property, removing the talismans that have protected residents from the monsters for years. Without those talismans, when night falls, nobody in that town is safe anymore. That alone should be sending alarm bells through every fan's mind, because it mirrors exactly the kind of environment that would have existed right before the massacre Victor witnessed. Sophia has also said some incredibly loaded lines recently, things like admitting it's gotten dark because they're close to the end, and warning that things get messy right before everything is over. She even said she would light the match and watch it burn. Combine that with what the boy in white told Tabitha and Henry back in episode 3, that they are running out of time, and it becomes very hard to ignore where this story is heading. The pieces are not just falling into place by accident, they're being arranged. So now the real question becomes, is this massacre something the residents can actually stop? Or is it something the town has already decided will happen no matter what they do? Victor and Julie may be the two characters most likely to figure out the truth before it's too late. But even if they do, will the rest of the town listen to them in time? Because if this massacre happens exactly like it did before, almost nobody survives it. And if it doesn't, the group could finally have a real shot at breaking the cycle for good. Here's something a lot of viewers may have brushed past without realizing how important it actually is. We've been told that the bottle tree acts almost like a window into the caves, which on the surface makes it seem like the talismans don't even matter anymore, like they've become outdated and unnecessary. But if that were really true, why would Sophia spend all that time and effort going around the entire town collecting every single one of them? That detail doesn't add up if the talismans are truly useless. It's possible there's a much darker explanation hiding underneath this moment. What if Sophia wasn't collecting those talismans to discard them at all? What if she was actually taking them somewhere specific, possibly down into the caves, intentionally leaving them there for the next boy equivalent, the next child who eventually gets trapped in this town when the next cycle begins? If that's true, this single scene isn't just about removing protection. It's about preparing the next loop of suffering before the current one is even ended. This theory becomes even more disturbing when you remember that the show has always treated the town less like a location and more like a living, almost intelligent entity. The lightning, the sudden earthquake, the way certain events seem to react to what the characters do, all of it suggests the town itself might be making choices. If that's the case, then removing the talismans isn't just Sophia acting alone. It could be the town itself preparing the stage for what comes next, using Sophia as the hand that does the work. There's also the unsettling reveal involving Elgin. When Sophia killed him, she told Clara to get rid of his body, and that single instruction carries a lot of weight. Why would she want to hide that he's dead unless she has a reason to pose as him? We already know the man in yellow has the ability to take on the appearance of anyone he's killed throughout the town's long history. If that's what's happening here, then Elgin may not be gone from the story at all. He may simply be wearing a different face now, walking among people who have no idea the man they're talking to isn't who they think he is. So where does all of this lead us? Let's talk theories, and I want to be clear. These are predictions based on patterns the show has shown us, not confirmed facts. The first major theory centers around Fatima. Her transformation at the end of Season 4 feels like the payoff to something that's been building since Season 3, when she was eating dirt and many fans, myself included, suspected she was already becoming something else. It's possible that Fatima won't be a fully lost cause. She could end up existing somewhere between human and monster, possibly even becoming a kind of weapon the town's residents can use. If she retains the ability to sense monsters, track their movement, and even influence Smiley, that gives the group something they've never had before, an advantage from inside the threat itself. It's also possible we'll finally learn why she became a monster in the first place. Given that she handed her own child, Smiley, over to the town, there's a real chance this mirrors the original sacrifice the monsters made generations ago in exchange for their immortality. If that connection is confirmed, it would tie Fatima's storyline directly into the founding mythology of the town itself, something the show has been protecting closely for years. Then there's the bigger symbolic theory. The boy in white and the man in yellow possibly representing two opposing forces, something like good and evil, locked in a cycle that repeats no matter who the residents are. The boy in white's warning to Sophia that she's going to lose this time suggests this isn't their first encounter, and maybe not even close to it. It raises the unsettling possibility that the town has existed through countless versions of this same battle, with different people, different cycles, but the same outcome every time, until now, possibly. Finally, there's the theory involving the bones being unearthed. It's possible that removing the bones from their original resting place could break the bargain that originally gave the monsters their immortality. If that bargain is voided, the group might actually gain the ability to kill the monsters for the first time in the show's history. That single twist could completely change the power balance heading into the final season. If the final season truly builds toward this massacre, then every storyline we've followed for years is now operating under a ticking clock. I believe Julie's story-walking ability is going to play a massive role in uncovering the truth. Her connection to the past, especially tied to her father's death and the trauma of nearly losing her mother, could push her to dig deeper into the town's history than anyone has gone before. It's possible she'll witness the original massacre firsthand, or even story-walk far enough back to see the real original Sophia, which would confirm one of the show's most unsettling theories, that the Sophia we've known might actually be the man in yellow, wearing her face the entire time. As for who survives, the final season is likely to be brutal. Clara's fate looks especially grim, with the man in yellow seemingly using her for his own purposes before discarding her once she's no longer useful. Henry's mental state has been deteriorating for a while, and if he continues losing his grip on what's real versus what isn't, his storyline could end in tragedy, possibly even fulfilling the rooftop death Victor once described from an earlier cycle. Boyd is another name that feels increasingly at risk. His tremors are worsening, his leadership is being questioned by the town, and the guilt he carries over Abby's death may be the very thing that convinces him to stay behind and sacrifice himself rather than face a world outside without her. Ultimately, everything seems to be building toward one final, unavoidable confrontation. The massacre either happening and ending nearly everyone's story, or being stopped and finally giving these characters a real chance to break free from the cycle entirely. MGM Plus has confirmed the final season will arrive sometime in 2027, with filming reportedly beginning in early July this year. Based on the show's usual release pattern, a window similar to Season 3 feels likely, possibly landing around September 2027. That gives fans roughly a year to prepare for what could be one of the most intense endings in recent television history. So that's everything we know and everything I believe is coming when From returns for its final season. The Massacre, Fatima's transformation, the true identity hiding behind Sophia's face, all of it points toward an ending that's going to hit incredibly hard. But here's what I want to know from you. Do you think the town massacre is actually going to happen, or will the residents finally find a way to stop it before it's too late? Drop your theory in the comments. I genuinely want to hear what you think is coming.